like grave digger. Money over on my headstone. Here lies young getting paid for. Never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. Time to gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, you already dead. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome to 96.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the Coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the...
Hey. Okay. Pocket through big day sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You in the no Chad Hugo. Pocket through big day sumo. 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 Pull card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You in the no Chad Hugo. Pocket through big day sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Tell me who the hottest that you know. If it ain't me, you go. Swimming through the money like a flounder. Hold up. I just want the knowledge and the power. Hold up. Why the looking at me sour? Eat it like chowder. Rada. Never gave a about a dollar. More money, me, more problems. Pray for me to fall like autumn. Cause I got it on my own with no help, man. Got a daddy, that's it, in myself, man. They need a new hope, deliver new, giving out like Shaq at the free throw. Anybody wanna be ET? Man, y'all can't see me. Out of my league, you pee-wee. Pocket too big, Rakishi. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You in the no Chad Hugo. Pocket too big, they sumo.
Hello again, everybody. It is the Coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. goes the first carry for Alex Collins. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
That was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Now Jameis on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Justin Houston in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, and someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So we got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 4. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail! So!
They go play action here on 1st down. Going deep downfield for Roll. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. No problem there on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And that one results in 35 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. If I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Alex Collins, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Hauschka with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Now a play fake here on first down. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Gerald McCoy coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now they'll run it on the toss. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They go play fake. Mahomes lets it go for net. That's caught inside the 20. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a toss. This is West. Ooh, the juke. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get...
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Kendrick West, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ready. Blue ready.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
2nd down, Winston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you got a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And now here comes Kansas City. The drive begins with a handoff to West. He's got room to run past the 20. Kendrick West. And all the way in for Kansas City touchdown. Charkandrick West, 93 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Ready. Blue ready.
The drive starts with a run by Collins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Dorian O'Daniel, third-round pick in 2018, made the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Out to the left there and complete to Howard. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? They sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
Start offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. This is Collins on the handoff. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, it's Winston. That's caught by Howard. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And now here comes Kansas City. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there for KC. 56 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. J.J. Nelson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. On this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it.
Ready. Black 22.
Jameis now on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
It's caught by Mike Evans. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready. Black 22.
On first and 10, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing again. Winston on second and 10. Evans has it left side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. He's got Evans. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Winston. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. Throwing, Winston. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And we're going to get a timeout. with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So we've come upon half. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So a loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing now is Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Well, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is. Mike Evans, he's going to go. Past the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And on the ground they go with the running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. And they'll run it here. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down.
Left, 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 left.
On play action, it's Mahomes. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. He's going to fire. He's got him in. Complete. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
And they'll go on the ground. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Hey, here we go. Green, 90.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. But I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. They'll run for it with West. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 23 yards on the play. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
First down, Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Evans. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. Winston now from the 50. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 3rd and long for Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bucs have made this a 1-score game. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. Oh, I think the Bucs got it, and they did. Tampa Bay football. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
He's back to throw. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. The Bucs on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.